You've heard the phrase, go with your gut, right? That gut feeling? Well, it turns out there's some serious science behind that. Today, we're going to cut through all the noise about gut health with some amazing insights from NHS surgeon Dr. Karan Rajan. We're going to get into why your gut is actually called your second brain, and more importantly, how you can finally start listening to it.
All right, let's just start with a number, 40%. Just look at that for a second. What do you think that could possibly be about?
That's right, 40% of all people. That's how many of us are dealing with some kind of gastrointestinal problem. I mean, that's huge. It just goes to show you, if you've ever felt like your gut was out of whack, you are so not alone. This is a massive shared experience.
So, what is going on here? Why are so many of us struggling? Well, to really get to the bottom of it, we need to completely reframe how we think about our gut. It's not just a bunch of plumbing, it's so much more. It's your body's second brain.
You know, we always think digestion is something that happens after we eat. But Dr. Rajan makes this amazing point. It actually starts in our heads. Just thinking about food, picturing that delicious meal you're about to have, that's enough to send signals to your gut to get ready. Our brain and our gut are in constant communication.
And this isn't just some vague idea, right? There's real science here. It's called the enteric nervous system. And get this, we're talking about over 100 million nerve cells lining your gut. That's more than in your entire spinal cord. It's so incredibly complex, and it can operate on its own, that scientists have nicknamed it our second brain. How cool is that?
And Dr. Rajan just sums it up perfectly here. This isn't just your stomach we're talking about. This intelligent network runs the entire length of your digestive system. Thinking about it that way, I mean, it really changes how you view your own body, doesn't it? Okay, so if our gut is this brilliant second brain, why is it giving so many of us so much trouble? Well, the tough truth is that our modern world is kind of waging a war on it. Let's look at some of the main culprits.
Dr. Rajan lays out a whole list of modern-day gut enemies. Some of these you might expect, right? Low-fiber diets, chronic stress, yeah, we know those are bad. But there are others, like the overuse of common painkillers. And then there's one of the biggest offenders of all, broad-spectrum antibiotics. His metaphor for what these antibiotics do, it's honestly pretty chilling. He says it's like dropping a nuclear bomb. You might be trying to take out one bad guy, one specific infection, but the collateral damage is immense. It's not a targeted strike, it's a nuke. It wipes out all the good essential bacteria, right along with the bad. And what happens after that bomb drops? Well, Dr. Rajan calls it a nuclear winter for your gut. There's this story about someone who tracked their microbiome after just one course of antibiotics, and it took them a grueling 18 months, a year and a half, to even begin to get their healthy bacteria back. That really shows you the kind of long-term impact we're dealing with.
I know, that sounds super bleak. But here's where the story totally changes, because this is the good news. Our microbiome is incredibly resilient. It can bounce back. So let's shift from the problem to the solution. How do you feed that microbiome?
This is so encouraging. Unlike that slow 18-month recovery, you can make positive changes incredibly fast. Dr. Rajan says your gut microbiome can start to improve in as little as 24 hours after changing your diet, just one day. That means you have the power to make a real difference, starting like right now.
So what's the game plan? Well, Dr. Rajan's strategy is powerful, but actually really simple. First, more fiber. Think of it as high-quality fertilizer for your internal garden. You're aiming for about 30 grams a day. Second, plant diversity. Don't just eat the same thing over and over. Every different plant feeds a different community of good bacteria, so variety is key. And third, my personal favorite, eat the rainbow. Those beautiful, vibrant colors in fruits and vegetables, those are signs of powerful antioxidants called polyphenols, and your gut absolutely loves them.
Okay, so we know food is a huge part of the solution. But what about the quick fix? I mean, the shelves are just overflowing with probiotic supplements. Are they the magic bullet we're all hoping for? Let's get into it. Supplements, fact versus fiction.
This is so important. Dr. Rajan really urges caution with these over-the-counter supplements. For one, they're not regulated like medicine is, and their claims often don't have a lot of hard science behind them. Plus, it's a one-size-fits-all approach for a system that's as unique as your fingerprint. Instead, he points us toward fermented foods, things like kimchi, yogurt, kefir. They're a natural source of diverse microbes, plus they give you other good stuff like fiber and nutrients, and they're usually a lot cheaper. All right, we've talked about what to put into our bodies, but there's one last crucial piece to this puzzle. It's about listening, because it turns out your gut runs on a schedule. It has its own internal clock.
You know how you have a sleep-wake cycle, your circadian rhythm? Well, your gut, your second brain, is plugged right into that same master clock. It craves routine. It gets used to feeling hungry at certain times, and just as importantly, it gets used to, needing the bathroom at certain times. For your gut, predictability is everything.
And that brings us to the urge, that feeling. It's not just a polite suggestion, it's a critical signal from your body. Dr. Rajan explains that if you ignore it, you're basically throwing a wrench into that whole finely tuned system. The stool can actually go back into the colon, making it harder to pass later on, and that can lead to this really vicious cycle of straining and constipation.
So the big takeaway here is that we really need to prioritize this. And I absolutely love how Dr. Rajan puts it with this super clever line. We need to make number 2s number 1. It's a little funny, sure, but it's so true. Paying attention to our bowel health isn't some minor detail. It's absolutely fundamental to our overall well-being.
So it's pretty clear our gut is constantly talking to us. It's sending signals, telling us what it needs, when it needs it. The real question is, are we actually listening? By understanding this second brain and giving it the care it really deserves, we can unlock a whole new level of health. So, what's one small change you can make today to start listening to your gut?
Click the subscribe button to stay updated with VitalSpan Labs.